Hey, my name is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living, and it's time to turn on your inner nerd. Okay, so first off, I am not a licensed financial advisor. I don't have any licensing. So this channel has to be taken as watching Calvin trade, his ideas, how things work. So one other thing, this channel is not affiliated with Humble or Blocks or anything else. This is my personal project, and I think there are people that will benefit from it, so that's why I'm doing it. Okay, we are looking at Ethereum this morning. We're going to start with Ethereum. So there was something very important during yesterday's video. We had talked about, well, at least when I was doing the video, there was a green candle on Ethereum, and there was a comment either on Twitter or in the comments, and they were like, "Wait, we closed red. Like this is a terrible thing. What happened here?" And the lesson is that you just cannot trust a candle until it actually closes. So when we're reading candles and looking at formations and looking at what's going on in the charts here, we are always looking at a close. Things can change 5 minutes, 10 minutes before a close, and it can completely change the look, the trajectory, everything of the chart. So this candle, it ended up being a red candle after it had been green for quite a bit. So it was pretty interesting. Another thing, somebody was asking me about this head and shoulders right here. Let's see, I will find it. So they're speculating that there is a head and shoulders right here. But exactly the same comment. If we don't have the other shoulder and it's not finished, and we don't break this line, there's no head and shoulders here. Everyone, I mean, it could happen. The potential is always there, but you have to let the charts finish. You can't just think, oh, this is going to be a head and shoulders, I'm going to go bearish on this right now. It's just not. It's not how we trade. You have to wait for confirmation. You have to let the chart finish doing its thing. So even though today looks awesome, we have 8 hours and 46 minutes left before the day closes, and we will then be able to say, okay, how are we going to react to this information? So yesterday though, even though this was a red candle, it's still bullish. And now that you guys have been watching for a while, I bet you can tell me why. The reason is because the tail is longer than the top. So we have more pressure on the bottom than we have on the top. So we have quite a few good candles here. This one was kind of medium. This one, you know, it just had a bigger green body. So even though the top was a little longer than the tail, there's nothing really strong about it. This was our beautiful dragonfly. This is what we were looking for lots of support. And it was this candle that's resulted in the rest of this move. We're still not sure how long it'll go. I would love to see it hammer out a large candle. Whenever we see a giant candle, there's usually an echo of that. So I'm hoping we'll get it, but obviously we have to let the charts do its thing. But yeah, so this one had a very, very long tail. Also a green body helped. So between the two, this is bullish. And then this one again is bullish. So we've had 3 bullish candles in a row, and we're lifting up off of the 50-day moving average. So our 50-day moving average is at about 1600. We're trading at 1700. The first resistance besides the, we've got a 1730 line here, but it'll be the 20-day that is the most significant resistance. It'll be about 1771. So if we can close anywhere near this, then we'll have a pretty good shot of changing directions. But where we have found it as resistance 1 to 3 times and then changed, there's a high chance that we'll reject off of this 20. How far we go is completely, we just don't know yet. So, but we're kind of playing it by ear, and we'll see how things go. So far, this move in Ethereum is making the rest of the alts look really nice, but we got to wait for closes. We need confirmations before we make decisions. So a lot of my trading happens at 0 GMT. So I usually trade once a day, and it's at 8 hours and 43 minutes, thereabouts. So yeah, so you'll have to look at your clocks and see when what UTC time is, and at midnight UTC, that's when all of the candles are official, and then you can make some trades. But my strategy is very, very easy. Even if you're a little bit late, it's not this thing where you have to be watching and you have to do it. You just need to make sure that the candle has closed, and then you've got plenty of time to make decisions. Swing trading helps you, especially if you're working or doing other things. You have a busy life. You don't have to be, at your computer 24 hours a day, which makes my strategy really awesome. Okay, so let's look at Bitcoin, see if there's anything else going on. Yeah, so Bitcoin's not so hot. Look at this. Yesterday's candle was pretty bearish. So, but you know what? I still don't think this is a trend reversal. This is just kind of an ugly candle. With these two that were very bullish at the bottom of our trend line, there's still more pressure to go up. So I would expect that we continue to move up. And today we're riding our long-term line that we pointed out yesterday. So we're kind of watching that, but I don't think we'll have any trouble until we hit our 50-day moving average at 22,500 or so, somewhere in there. We may enter a red zone on Bitcoin. So we are the 50th day is down here, and once we start replacing, if we have a candle that's lower, that closes lower than these candles at 21,600, the slope of our moving average will go down, and we'll have a red zone. So we don't really want to see a red zone. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's also once we exit a red zone, we really want to move out and move on with our trend. But Bitcoin's being a little lazy right now, so we're just watching it day by day to see if anything catastrophic happens. But so far, we should show a few more days of green. With these two candles here, we should be able to move up for a little while, and we'll see how far we end up. So now let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, I got word that the subscription channel from a technology standpoint is complete. So I could start enrolling and start going immediately. There's one legal piece that they're waiting for. And so the second they give me the green light, we will be live on the subscription channel. So being Thursday, and governments are slow, everyone was kind of expecting that it would happen this week, but I'm not holding my breath. It may be next week. So kind of a quick heads up on that. There's still a ton of opportunities, so it's not like we'll be late. The other thing I was going to say is that I noticed a couple of you have signed up on KuCoin, which is cool. the link in the description of this video has a 10% off on all trading fees, which would just save you money. So that is pretty sweet. And so those are kind of the couple things to let you know, but things are moving along, and yeah, so I'm excited for that. Once we get going, a lot of the things that I talk about will have a lot of structure and legs behind it. So it's really cool. Okay, so we still have only one coin in the green zone, and we are finding support on the 50. So we're watching it to see if we close below the 50, then we've gone from green to yellow, and that is a short opportunity. So we're watching to see if we get our first actual short. The other coins, there's a ton in the yellow zone, so nothing. Hopefully some of these will exit. If we have a good solid green day, a lot of these will move out, and then we'll have buying opportunities, and we can pare down some upside down ones and things like that. So we're just letting the charts do their thing, and we're just rolling with it. Just takes off a lot of that pressure. But we did have a couple that exited. Actually, it was just Dash. Dash was the only one that closed above the 50 yesterday, and we're gonna see if we can hold it. But this formation is fine. Once we get above this 50, we're in great shape. Like, there's nothing to be concerned about. And the fact that if we get above the 50 and our low, this swing low down here at $45 is higher than our other lows of $39 or $40, we are doing a major change. You can see when I zoom out how far we've fallen. Like, yeah, we've come down a lot on Dash. And so I love picking it up after the red zone ends, especially at the bottom. So it's not perfect. I mean, we exited the red zone a couple of times up here, but and these would have been, entries that I would have taken. But every time you get another chance, your averages improve and your odds of a giant gain are much, much higher. I don't think you guys realize how much money we're gonna make. It's so awesome. When we finally turn the corner and exit the final red zone and start looking for green zone, I mean, the returns are unbelievable, because already with the 5x leverage and the strategy that I've worked out, we are expecting 1,000% returns. Like, that's what we're after. It's gonna be really fun. We're just being very patient and letting the charts do their thing. But when we get going, it is going to be really awesome. So anyway, when we've fallen this far and we start showing support and our bottom is starting to round out and we're starting to get higher lows and higher highs, we're getting there. So this is positive. Bitcoin Cash moved out a couple days ago. It's looking fine. Zcash is another one that I'm thinking will be good. It's another one that has dropped pretty good. But you can see that once we get going, how steep these are. Like, it only takes a month or two and you just launch. So if we can just get the momentum in the market, we'll be pretty happy. Flow is still barely there. It got above, showed support, and it's done it for a while, but we haven't had our breakout yet, so that one hasn't quite lifted off yet. And then these ones are all looking great. ENS above. These guys, once we get above the 200, we'll have more to add to our above the 200 section, which is pretty small. So these ones are the most mature of this round. But yeah, this one doesn't have a 200-day average, so I'm not sure what to do with that. But we're watching all of these for euphoria and plants a chance to short. SHIB decided to move up a bit earlier, and we'll see where it ends up closing, but it's still in the playground, so it looks fine. Urine Finance, we lifted off the 50, so it's looking good. So all these that have matured and are staying in the 100, they're all looking really nice. Atom, of course, we mentioned yesterday that it is looking the strongest because we're back above our other high and we're moving up. So even though it's a little bit of a down day, that doesn't even matter. It's the long-term trend that we're after. And then these guys, we're looking for green zones. They're above the 200. We're just waiting for the market to catch up. It'll be a few days. And, but yeah, I haven't seen anything really crazy to say that we're in trouble where these will be a good short opportunity. So everything's looking fine. We are just taking this one day at a time, and we'll see how we go. We'll check in at 8 hours and see how things close and make modifications from there. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. So just remember, keep your trade small, be patient, wait for the trade to come to you. Don't get caught up in all of the hype. You guys are gonna kill it.